the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Most Reverend Osei Bonsu, Kasama former the Catholic Bishops Conference. Before 2024 elections, about to Catholic bishops for Eddie Omohu Eji Galamsey fight, demonstration cry and Nancy Echo Jubilee House, the petition, Ekoma President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the then former President of the Republic of Ghana, former President of the Republic of Ghana. Now, asama omode tu nanim ne se galamsey na agentre han e wo Ghana pa nti onhwe no munsi anokwan key measure on fanto a state of emergency. President Mahama then oyo opposition flag bearer of the new National Democratic Congress e de nanu tu mu bi ka say oba one of niemo tackle pa galamsey. Now according to Kenashibe, or say over 7,000 excavators and Sisiano involved in galamsey. Even joint news reports were revealing say more excavators and more clear tema port in here and yet afina galamsey na ebabe brass for Africa ne pija emo pija gold board so omunya constant buyers from gold board government agency. Now Imani for release a report we and it says that trust ana Ghana for ewo Emma President Mahama ne na abai no atia perform by almost 25% percentage points. But they say no more GDA in President Mahama ne na abai time obai say resetting Ghana ne de kekaka ho into now over 70% of poll or more hope pa say more GDA say President Mahama in such a beba into the Republic of Ghana. But 6 months on, the new assessment in July 2025. So I hope 45% and at it from 70% to 45%. Now, any key reasons here? Could see an audio conversation of Most Rev Osei Bonsu, spokesperson of Catholic Bishop Conference, and Miracles Abuaje in some or more after the recent engagement with President Mahama. Now, the NTR, I must say, Ghana for I start to say after 6 months, lose hope in President Mahama abiding near one terminator one effect. Or shall I say or pamo July 4 affiliated to the National Democratic Congress. Many other perceptions say on person create space. Na omutimifa political supporters. One more chidom a campaign during elections. And he say, for instance, Ghana Water say, na ya suspended a group of people near Pamon Crawford or various state agencies, and even National Sports Authority, various stakeholders, and they crack out. And he said, Yana Amma, or lose confidence in Mahama administration. Said, reset now, or cast over 24 hour, or 133 in the Kakahono, and your way, and Omkase, or Motuaba, Ama President Mahama, to do more 6 months. Second one, a presidential judge scandal. Say na key person, Minister of Foreign Affairs, some could do a black one. No, Kassetia, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the former president, for the use of presidential jets. But and various uses of presidential jets with the excuse say presidential jets say Ghana for up to 2030 after the map parking of France. Enye juma nti na nkontompo nyenye nokre ene no modi juma at the time on criticize President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo say opeso odware wo biem ene nti no o use presidential jet mobile the same thing na mo kaseti ama eno na omoye ena third one oral and selective justice most modi report bi aba print photocopy be 14 pages 14 booklets na si tables se krono ankrofo abonko anye enti yentoma NDC aban na yetoma NDC aban anya moba modi nkrofo bebere ba betum moba ya does that case auto forcing the case ambulance case muna makle Collins Dada makle the case and various cases na nkrofo hu se ewo court na ye hwe se ye de justice beba no muna makle mam wie ma judge no krafa amfa pronouncement about Attorney General na yi a free court. Inti a say Mumfa justice Nindi Juma. As far as Oya affiliated to the National Democratic Congress, Sika saying India, Mamano, Afano, who Edi. Sa Nima win na Ena Nkofwa say Omulusu hope and confidence in President Mahama and Nabai. We any reporter Imani for a release. But Yempasi a cancer mina. Yonko tie Most Reverend Osei Bonsu or Kasama for Emma Catholic Bishop Conference in some of the chudra recent engagement on the President Mahama Inyaya a confirms our reporter Imani for a release.
Why are you still insisting on a state of emergency?
Well, as you have heard, we have spoken about Galamsey for many years. Almost every year, whenever plenary, we talk about it. We live with the people, we are in rural areas, we are in all parts of Ghana, and we know what is going on. And we feel that something drastic should be done. Now, if it's not the use of a state of emergency, something drastic should be done. Ghana is at war. We are not at war with the Togo or Ivory Coast or Burkina Faso. We are at war with Galamsey. And if we don't take care, a time will come when we will get plenty gold to export, but then there will be no water to drink. And Ghana will cease to exist. And so while we think of improving the production of gold and all that, we should be serious about Galamsey, which is destroying our water, destroying our land, and so on. So it doesn't matter the term that you will use, but we feel that government should do something very drastic about Galamsey. Otherwise, the nation Ghana will cease to exist.
And for our viewers, the what you had on your screen a while ago, when you see, the colors, this is what they represent. When you see the blue, it's good water quality. And you can see that you hardly find it in there. It's in 2006 and 2007 that you have some spots of, good water quality. Just two occasions, in 2006 and 2007, and that was within the River Densu. Okay? Yes, River Densu. When you see green, that is fairly good water. Fairly good water. If you see yellow, that is poor water quality. And you see yellow all over, poor water quality. And then when you see the red, it's grossly polluted water or inaccessible water body. Really, really bad. Yes, so Bishop, my question was that as we are hearing, the president doesn't seem willing and ready to do the targeted state of emergency as has been called for by the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey with Kanashigbe, Frank Edu Jr., Yawin Sako, and the rest of them in there, Senyor Hosi and the rest of them in there. The UTAC says it must happen now. The Ghana Medical Association are also back, saying it must happen now. Now the Catholic bishops repeat their call that there must be a targeted state of emergency. The president doesn't think this is the solution. So what shall we do?
Now, if all these groups are saying the same thing, then the president should rethink. As a politician, maybe thinking about the amount of gold that you can export, the amount of money that we can get. But as I said, at the end of the day, when you get all this gold, will you be able to eat the gold? Will you be able to drink it? You need water to drink. You need good water for all kinds of things. And so the president should listen. All these groups that are speaking, they are citizens of Ghana, they know what is going on, and the president should take them seriously.
Okay. Is it tomorrow the Democracy Hub group is beginning a vigil. Their protests that they have been doing over some years now. On Tuesday, the IEA is organizing a discussion on, how we can avoid all of this. So, do you get tired as a conference? You have issued these statements over and again. And as I mentioned not too long ago, the Archbishop Bonaventure Kofi, under his auspices, the Accra Diocese also did actually a protest walk, and the ultimate call was the state of emergency, and it doesn't look like any of the presidents they are interested in that.
It's unfortunate, I'm not being political, but the right thing should be done. Whether it's NDC government or MPP government, Ghana comes first. Our welfare comes first. And so whatever needs to be done, will be done. So that we can preserve our water bodies, we can preserve the land, and so on.
Clara here supports your call, but he doesn't support, she's not too sure if this is the way to go with a state of emergency. And she feels that even if you have to activate a state of emergency, the concerns of the indigenes of these Galamsey areas should be sought. Do you agree?
Well, they should be contacted, but they all know what is going on. They know that they are not getting good water to drink. They know that they cannot, when they cross, the crops are not using any good food. And so they are also concerned. And I'm sure that if you go to them, they will tell you the things that they are not happy with the situation. Even though their sons and daughters may be bringing gold, they know that it's not the best. So it all depends on what we mean by state of emergency. We're not saying that the whole country should be in a state of emergency. We're speaking of targeted areas. And if we can deal with the most critical areas, we're getting somewhere. But not to start at all, that's not good.
A part of Clara's concern, as others also do, is that a state of emergency brings in very drastic, sort of unconstitutional actions. Human rights will be, of course, there will not be anything like human rights because it will completely freeze the law's operations in those areas. They are likely to shoot and kill, and so on. Have you gotten there?
Yes, they can work out the modalities, how you are going to go about it. I'm not a politician, I'm not a soldier, I don't know what it involves. But something should be done, because if we continue this way, we're not going to get anywhere.
Thank you very much.
They are lawyers and they know the Constitution and so on, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's the welfare of the Ghanaian. That is paramount. Okay? And so if at the end of the day, we can't get water to drink, we can't get food to eat, then where are we?
I haven't spoken a lot on this issue, both since it became a topical issue till date. But yes, I stand with groups like UTAC, with the Catholic Bishops' Conference, my bishops, because I'm Catholic. And then everyone who is asking for urgent solutions or resolution to the Galamsey menace. I agree that it's a crisis. We are in the state of a crisis. It's a national crisis, and that it needs urgent solution. So on that, I don't have a doubt. Where I may have different views is how to fight it, or what is the best way to go about it. One suggestion, for example, is the state of emergency that has been talked about. As Roxanne noted, there's a legal framework for state of emergency. So the Constitution, because it's a very critical issue, and because it involves rights of people, and the situation when it comes that rights can be suspended, the Constitution provides a framework for it. And in that framework, it's the President, it's the Council of State, it's Parliament, who are the major stakeholders in determining whether or not there is a state of emergency.
There is the President's call.
Yes, it's the President's call. Not really, because he has to act in accordance with the advice of the Council of State.
But it is his call.
No, it's actually
It's the President who initiates it.
No, but if the Council of State says no, don't proceed, he can't proceed.
Yeah, then
no, that's what the Constitution says.
Yeah, then we will know.
In fact,
we would have initiated it.
In fact, if I'm to read, if you allow me to just read,
even if they say yes,
don't hijack my
can decline.
When yes, my honorable leader.
Yeah, take this.
Okay. So if we go to Article 31, for example, and then you allow me to read.
Whilst you look for it, Professor Kojo Appiah had written in 2024, and I quote a portion of it when he called us a Galam state. He said that the NDC must support the call for a declaration of a state of emergency. However, it feels equally threatened by the call because it will curtail their ambition to continue the Galamsey loot should they come to power next year. There is also the likelihood of losing support from potential financiers who are waiting on the wings to replace the DCEs and MCEs and reconstitute the DISEX and widen and deepen the Galamsey practice, thereby taking Ghana to the next level of state capture, what is called the deep state. From deep state, we will end as a fragile state and then as a failed state. That's where we are heading.
Yes, so I want to, as a lawyer, I want to stick with the constitutional framework because that's my profession.
Right.
Now, I read Article 31(1) of the Constitution, and it says that the president may, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State. That's where I end. So if I read everything, it says, the president may, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State, by proclamation published in the Gazette, declare that a state of emergency exists in Ghana or in any part of Ghana for the purposes of the provisions of this Constitution. The highlighting words for me are acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State. When those words are used in the Constitution, the advice of the Council of State is binding on the president. So he cannot proceed without. If the Council of State says no, he can't proceed.
Yeah, but I mean, he has to start.
He may start.
Yeah.
He may consult.
Yeah.
It is when the words use that in consultation with, then he has to start.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, reading the Constitution, actually nothing stops the Council of State from starting.
How?
Because it is in accordance with their advice. So if they say this is our advice,
no. This one, listen, I'm not a lawyer, but this one,
yes, you are not a lawyer, so stay out of it.
I won't. Listen,
please. Miracles, when you were making your presentation, I didn't.
No, but I'm just making a point.
No, don't make it. Let me make my point.
The executive
no, let me make my point. So as I was saying,
in protection of the state, but in doing that, there are processes they will go through.
It says acting in accordance with.
Yeah.
The English word there is acting in accordance with. When they say act in accordance with something, what does it mean?
It doesn't mean the person starts it. You would initiate it.
No.
Oh.
Council of States cannot get up and write and say, we are advising you to. They may, but that is not how the process will be triggered.
Okay, you've answered the question. So they may, and that's the point I was making. Please, Mr. Boachi, I don't do that. So don't do that. Don't do that. I didn't do that. So don't do that. Yes, but you actually just said what I said. No,
move on.
No, you don't tell me where to respond.
Continue,
So
I hope that we don't make it as if there's a problem with declaring a state of emergency.
Allow me to make my point.
Because the law creates problems with declaring a state of emergency, and that is why we don't have it. If the president wants to declare a state of emergency, he will have it.
I'm making a point, and I'm making a point in accordance with the constitutional framework.
Right.
I am a Democrat. I do not come from the position philosophically that we should have a president who, controls everything. So I come from the philosophical view that institutions of state in appropriate situations should be able to determine state action. Right. Not just or only the political office of the president. That's the philosophical view that I come in. And Mr. Boachi, it's important for me to make that you actually said what I said, that nothing stops the Council of State from saying that we think that they may. You said they may.
No, I didn't say that.
You said they may.
I am saying that throughout the Constitution, there are several actions that require parliamentary approval and Council of State approval. But the onus lies with the executive to go and seek for those approval. You can't turn it around.
Yeah.
Nobody will be allowed to mislead us on that course. You can't turn it around.
Okay,
no,
thank
you
you.
have misinterpreted what I said. So please allow me to
Dennis,
finish.
thank
So
you, your
yes,
point is made.
yes, it says acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State. If the president asks the advice, the president may ask. The word is may. The president may ask the Council of State, should I declare a state of emergency? If the Council of State says, no, don't declare it, he cannot declare it. That's one. Two, nothing stops from the letter of this constitution. Nothing stops the Council of State from reaching out to the president. That's a second scenario. Nothing stops the Council of State from reaching out to the president that we think that there is a case for a state of emergency to be declared. So for me, there are two instances. One, the president can go to the Council of State. If he says yes, he may proceed. If the Council of State says no, he cannot proceed. Two, the Council of State can go to the president and say that we think you should declare a state of emergency. In my understanding of this constitution as a lawyer, it says that their advice is binding on the president, and then he may declare, make the promulgation. So that's one. Now, number two.
Be binding.
Number two, it didn't say advice. It says acting in accordance with. No.
Because you just said they can advise and the advice is binding.
Yes.
That's why he's coming to say it.
No,
the Supreme Court has pronounced on that. Advice is not binding.
But it says acting in accordance.
Thank you.
It says acting in accordance.
The point he's making, which is clear,
If
which
you're
is
not a lawyer, don't
dispute.
expect to understand
This is
law.
not in dispute.
This is not law.
And
You wouldn't have been going to school to get about law.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is common sense. It's there clear, black and white. What are you talking about?
So I don't want
You are not a lawyer, so I'm not going to. I'm not
Let's be careful. Let's be careful in measuring on what we shouldn't measure on.
Thank you.
Because there's no dispute.
There is.
No, you don't know what I'm going to say. There's no dispute that if the president wants to declare a state of emergency, he can initiate the process. But he will need the advice of the Council of State, as Clara says, to be able to proceed. And even that, it will be for a period of 7 days, and then Parliament will need to confirm.
In fact, after
Otherwise,
72 hours, he has to go to
Your viewers are watching. Listen.
Thank you.
No, Council, listen.
So,
The point is being made as if the Council of State can actually declare a state of emergency.
I did nobody said that.
Okay, so
Nobody said that.
Okay, so then let's establish something.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
Ultimately, the person that declares a state of emergency is the president.
That point is clear. That's not in doubt.
Then what are we discussing? Then what are we
So
bringing the Council of
if you
State?
keep quiet and let me make my point, you will understand what we are discussing. So you wait until you think you have understood.